Hey there and welcome. Today, we're going to jump into what a lot of people say is one of the most powerful and just encouraging chapters in the entire Bible, Romans chapter 8. And this isn't going to be some dry academic thing. We're taking a personal look at a passage that has given unshakable hope to so many people. So let's dive in.
You know, this whole incredible chapter really comes to a head with this one question. The Apostle Paul, after laying out this amazing case for the gospel, he kind of just pauses and asks, okay, so what's the verdict on all this? If God himself is for us, who could possibly be against us? And that's the big question we're really going to dig into together. Now, when Paul says these things, you got to understand, he's not just talking about the last couple of verses. He's wrapping up everything he's written since chapter 1. I mean, think about it. He's walked us through humanity's universal guilt, God's shocking intervention through Jesus, and this whole new life we get to live in the Spirit. These things, well, it's the entire gospel story in a nutshell. So, after all that deep, heavy theology, what's the grand takeaway? It's so simple, it's almost shocking. God is for us. That's it. That's the bottom line. The creator of the universe isn't just neutral towards believers. He's not mad at them. He is actively, powerfully, and personally on our side. Okay, that sounds fantastic, right? But let's be real for a second. Life is hard. Things happen, and our circumstances, our own pain, our doubts, they can start whispering, is he really for me though? So how do we get this truth from our heads to our hearts? How can we have a truly unshakable confidence in it, no matter what life throws at us? Well, Paul doesn't just leave us hanging. He points to one single, undeniable historical event as the ultimate proof: the cross. His logic is just crystal clear. Look, he says, God already gave up the most precious thing he had, his own son. He gave him up for us. That's not a small gesture. That is the ultimate proof of his commitment. And the argument Paul makes here is just brilliant. Someone once called it logic on fire. He's arguing from the greater to the lesser. Think about it. If God already took care of our biggest, most impossible problem, our sin, and he did it at the highest possible cost, his son, then why on earth would we think he'd stumble on our smaller, lesser needs?
Okay, here's a great way to think about it. Imagine you save up and spend $5,000 to take your family to Disney World. You've got the tickets, you're all excited, you pull up to the gate, and the sign says, parking, $50. Are you going to turn the car around and say, nope, that's it, trip's off, too expensive? No way. You've already paid the massive cost. The smaller one is a given. In the same way God paid the ultimate price for your salvation, he's not going to nickel and dime you on the rest.
But Paul doesn't stop there. He wants to absolutely demolish any doubt we might have. So, he lays out 4 powerful rhetorical questions. It's almost like he's putting our assurance on the stand in a courtroom to prove, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that it is solid.
So here's question number 1, and it's a legal one. In the great courtroom of the universe, who can possibly stand up and bring a legitimate charge against God's chosen people? I mean, who could make an accusation that actually sticks? And the answer, a resounding no one. Why? Because the judge of all creation, God himself, has already slammed down the gavel and declared the verdict. He justifies us, which is just a legal way of saying he declares us not guilty. Think about it. If the highest court in existence has cleared your name, no lesser charge from anyone else, the devil, other people, or even your own conscience, can possibly stand.
Then Paul follows up with a second question. It's similar, but it hits a little deeper. He asks, okay, then who can condemn us? Who has the authority to pass the sentence? This isn't just about an accusation anymore. We're talking about the final judgment.
And again, the answer is a rock-solid no one. And this time Paul builds an airtight 4-point case, and it's all about Jesus. 1, Christ died, taking our condemnation on himself. 2, he was raised, proving he defeated sin and death for good. 3, he's now at the right hand of God, the position of ultimate power. And 4, he's up there right now interceding for us. He's our defense attorney, not the prosecutor. Every possible angle is completely covered.
Here's another way to picture it. It's like the difference between having a standby ticket and a confirmed ticket at the airport. You know, the person on standby, right? They're anxious, they're constantly looking at the screen, they have no idea if they're going to get on the flight. But the person with the confirmed ticket, they're grabbing a coffee, reading a book, they're relaxed, they know their seat is secure. See, the gospel doesn't hand you a standby ticket, it gives you a confirmed one.
We can stop living with that anxiety and start living in that assurance.
Okay, so this next question, this is the big one. This is the climax of the whole argument. Paul just throws the question wide open. He asks, what in all of creation, what force, what person, what circumstance could possibly cut us off from the love of Christ?
And he does not pull any punches here. He lists the hardest, most painful things you can imagine, things the first Christians were actually facing. We're talking about intense pressure, affliction, persecution, starvation, homelessness, constant danger, even execution. Paul is looking the worst that life can do right in the eye. He knows that suffering is real and it can absolutely feel like God has left you.
But then, after listing all that horror, comes this triumphant shout, no! It's this absolute rejection of the idea that suffering gets the final word. But he goes even further. Actually, what he says next is just mind-blowing. He says that in all these things, in the middle of the fire, we are more than conquerors because of Jesus' love for us.
So what on earth does it mean to be more than a conqueror? Well, a normal conqueror just kind of survives and wins the battle. But a super conqueror, which is what the Greek word here really means, that's something else entirely. It means God takes the very weapons the enemy is using against you, the pain, the hardship, the loss, and he flips them. He uses them for your ultimate good and for his glory. Your suffering doesn't just get defeated, it gets redeemed.
And then Paul just lets loose with this incredible poetic finale. He builds an unbreakable fortress of assurance all around us. He just sweeps across all of reality to make his point. He says neither death nor life. He covers the entire spiritual realm, neither angels nor rulers. He covers all of time, neither things present nor things to come. He covers all cosmic powers, all of space, neither height nor depth. And then, just in case he missed a single thing, he adds the ultimate catch-all, nor anything else in all creation. Nothing. It's over. The case is closed.
Wow. Okay. So what do we do with that? I mean, that's amazing theology, but how does it change how we do life on a Tuesday afternoon? So let's just land the plane and think about what this means for us, for you and me today. Well, first, it has to lead us to worship. When you really get a fresh glimpse of how much God loves you, it just makes you love him back, and that changes everything. Second, it lifts you out of despair. Whether you're feeling hopeless because of your own sin or your suffering or your fear of death, this truth speaks right into that darkness. Third, it gives you a vision for community. We're not in this alone. We're an adopted family. And finally, it should fuel our mission. I mean, a gospel this huge, this amazing, you just can't keep it to yourself.
So we end right back where we started with a question. Paul has shown us beyond any doubt that our ticket isn't standby. It's confirmed, it's paid for, it's guaranteed by Jesus himself. So the final question isn't for Paul, it's for you. Knowing you have a confirmed ticket, what are you going to do with that freedom? Where will that assurance take you?